it's not just a Lee thing. I'm glad Fighting GM is in here. Um, it's a like any character thing. Like the community's perception of who is the best like character user, which I think is really crazy. That a lot of people think Lee, Lee case in point. A lot of the community nowadays, they're saying that the Korean I'm Your Father is the best League player on the planet. The best League player on the planet. And I just can't help but disagree with that one. Like flat out. I have to flat out disagree with it. And you know why I disagree with it? Is because I think that only in I guess Tekken or fighting games maybe. I don't know if this is like prevalent in other competitive esports games. But I've only ever heard of something crazy like that in the fighting game community where results don't matter. If you've done this in this same game, like if you've done well in this same game, Tekken 7 years ago, then a pandemic hits and you don't compete for 2 years like most of the world doesn't either, but that's besides the point. You just get forgotten. And the current best thing is a Korean that's playing online mostly like everyone else is. And I have a real, it like irks me. It's it's like I don't know, a bad taste in coffee or something, like a bad meal at a high-end restaurant. Like, man, how do you guys formulate that opinion that a guy who hasn't done anything of note, worthiness to be called the best in the world with this character? It's only because he's Korean and he streams a lot. So what I heard that he was able to go to probably 2 or 3 offline events, and I don't think he got top 8 in any of them. But I don't want to take this time to rag I'm Your Father. The guy's an excellent League player. I've watched his streams. I've watched plenty of his streams. I've even done some stuff that Double League Gamer. Stream. Thank you. I will continue to have this great short stream, but it's thank you. But I've even watched I'm Your Father and said, you know what, GM? You could probably do this too. Some of these, bummy setups or whatever. And GM was like, man, get out of here. I already do that stuff. But no. But you know what? I could go to I'm Your Father and say the same thing about GM. You could do this. You could do that. GM does this. But the biggest thing I could tell him is you can go offline and, win some big tournaments. Or place really high, like Fighting GM. And exactly, Iori. Justice, he's a godlike Paul player. Like I said, this is not me trying to talk down on the Koreans or the Japanese players, because it's definitely not. We all understand they are godlike players. They play other godlike players all the time. Imagine trying to grind rank in Korea or Japan and getting Tekken God Omega there. It would be very hard, right? Your competition is Knee and JDCR and whoever you can name. But regardless of how many times you can beat them online in ranked mode or whatever, that doesn't count as a credential compared to what Fighting GM has done with Lee. It just doesn't. Because he's won a tournament with Lee, and a little sprinkle of Geese in there too against JDCR at I can't remember what tournament that was, but obviously a big tournament, a TWT level tournament if I remember correctly. he won that over JDCR. There are not too many American players who have won tournaments over Koreans, period. You can count on one hand. It's really, what, Jimmy, Anakin, GM. I think that's it. But yeah, I think, you know, in what sports do you guys watch that you don't count what the players actually do before you make a statement about who's the best what or who's not the best? Like, okay, you guys who watch basketball, who's the best three-point shooter in the league in history? Anyone know? It's a really bad question on my part, right? See, what is happening with Fighting GM, because I want to address this because this was on my YouTube channel in one of my videos. I titled it "A Long Set Against the Best League Player in the World." You know, in basketball, it would be like, you know, my three-pointers against the best shooter, you know, the best three-point shooter in the league or something. But people will be like, oh no, the Korean, you know, basketball player, he's better because I like him more. Does that even begin to make sense? Does it begin to make sense? It doesn't. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. You have one player who has all the credentials, another who has none. I'm not faulting the guy for having none. I'm just saying what it is. He has none right now. He's zero. Besides maybe Leroy Japan 2020. I think he maybe got top 16. I can't remember. Someone needs to fact check me on that. I heard he did, but I don't know for certain. But you have facts and you have opinions. It is a fact that Fighting GM is the most accomplished League player in Tekken 7. This game right here. It's not even close. No one else is even close. Offline, online, on all the lines. He's the most accomplished. He has the achievements. And, you know, I'm not fanboying Fighting GM. No. I'm not doing that. I'm just giving credit where it's due. The same way if, you know, you guys were to ask who's the best Zafina. Who else, right? The most accomplished Zafina, obviously, right? Isn't it Arslan Ash? You know, it's same argument goes for the King of Kings. Yo, that's a good thing to say, Loza, because just like what Fighting GM just said up there, Q-Don's told me I was strong after we played in tournament. But you know what? I'm gonna one-up you, Fighting GM. Q-Don's told me I was very, very strong. He put 2 varies. That was after he beat me, though. He beat me bad, but you know, where we met was in what, top 3 of Evo. So I guess that's where my 2 varies came from, but but nonetheless, same thing. He told you that you were very strong, which is obviously true. You know, he didn't even need to tell you that. He needs to tell me that though. I'm just messing with you, man. I needed some validation. But you know, it's just however, MBC King and Poten are the strongest in Korea. Unknown Reaper, I have to disagree with you there, because Puma, I think Puma is the best. He's had more tournament results. MBC doesn't really enter a lot of tournaments. Yeah, Puma has been absolutely killing it. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Is you have to have credentials to claim to be the best. In no other sport does it work like that. It's only in the FGC where the more beloved players or who you like at the time or whatever, that's gonna count more than, actual accolades, achievements, trophies, plaques, medals, top eights, top ones. You know, it's no secret that a lot of people in the fighting game community, in the Tekken community, they just do not like fighting Gio. They don't like his guts. And it's, everyone knows that. Running Black is another guy that a lot of people don't like. There are a lot of players who just are not liked. And I understand that. I see it. And I see people's opinions are formed around not liking people. And that's something I disagree with. Just because I may not personally like someone, which in my opinion, I like everybody. I'm cool with everybody. Not everyone is cool with me, obviously, but I don't hate anybody. I don't, despise anybody. I'm big chilling almost all the time. But just because you don't like this certain player, that doesn't mean I'm gonna, fall in line and say, well, this person's achievements mean nothing. His Lee is nothing. I don't want to hear it. He's never won anything. I like I'm Your Father more. I like yada yada more. They're the best Lee. I put a stamp on it. Boom, I don't want to hear nothing else. Don't say anything. I no longer hear logic. I no longer hear reasoning. I never heard of any tournament Fighting GM has ever been to. He's never traveled anywhere. I'm Your Father has traveled more than Fighting GM. So yeah, let's do our research. That's the main takeaway here, guys. Let's just do our research. Do your research before you claim X is better than Y or Y is better than X. Do your research. Who's won what? Who's placed where? Who has a trophy, medal, plaque? Who has all that? Who doesn't? Or who has more? Who has less? I mean, your opinion is gonna be your opinion at the end of the day, and I can't do anything but respect that. I just want your opinion to be formed around facts and not your feelings. Just form them around facts. Fighting GM has won more tournaments, placed more than any other lay player in the history of Tekken. It's not even close. He's probably won more tournaments than the next lead player you can name has even entered. Let that one sink in. He's probably got more top eights than the next best lead player has even entered. Tell him, Sherm, yeah, Guinness Book of World Records, yeah. So when you guys want to talk about that, but let's keep it in Tekken 7. I just wanted to say a historical bit, the history of Tekken. There's no more winning, winningest lead than Fighting GM. Flat out. It's just impossible. It's not a comparison. But in Tekken 7, if we want to just, regulate it to Tekken 7, that also remains true. So I just wanted to get that out there to you people, where I stand in all this. The YouTube comments, you guys, you can let me have it in the YouTube comments. But, I said what I know is right. In no other sport do we, base the who's, official stuff, you know, the official rankings and all that stuff based off of who you like and don't like. No. No. It is a fact Steph Curry is the best three-point shooter of all time. It's an official record. It's in the books. He's done it. GM has the trophies, the medals, and plaques at his house. Ask him, he'll show you a picture of it. He's not ashamed. I wouldn't be either. But yeah, that's all I want to say about that. And I want you guys to just do your research. Do your research before you form an opinion that is, you know, a hot take. That's a bad take. Do your research. There's information everywhere. Just Google it. Just Google it. There are even some websites dedicated to uploading like results and stuff. Even though they're not completely crisp, they don't have every single thing, but they have some things at least, right? I looked it up too. You know, I'm like, I didn't have to look it up for Fight GM. I already know his track record because I've watched the tournaments as they happen. I watched the streams or I was there in person. But I'm your father. I did my research. I found nothing. You know what I did find though is that he's beloved. I like I'm your father. He's a cool guy when I watched his streams. But really good lead, really godlike lead. But I'm not gonna let, you know, man, I like him. He's better than Fighting GM just because I like this guy, you know, more than the next person. Nah, it doesn't work that way. Facts are facts. I want you guys to, again, formulate your opinions on facts. Facts, not feel. Write it down. Facts, not feels.